This is the CHRILLCAST. I'm Chris.
And I'm Billy Not Will.
And we have a guest today.
Hi, I'm Installation00, or Mr. 00, as some people have affectionately called me.
And I'm actually not stalking him by looking up pictures of him. I was trying to find a good picture for the podcast. I forgot to change screens, so you'll have to forgive me for that.
That's a nice way of saying I'm stalking him. It's okay.
Today is the normal...
Weirder things have happened.
Today is the normal Wildcard Wednesday segment, but we're not doing a normal bit. In fact, we're going to be doing a interview with Installation00 or Mr. 00, 00, whichever way you want to call him.
Roll with whatever you want to roll with. It's absolutely fine.
So I'm going to pull up his channel, and we're going to talk about his channel and what he's been doing on YouTube for however many years he's been doing it.
So why don't we not in the years yet, to be fair.
Okay.
Getting there.
There you go. My bad. You have to forgive me. It's been a long day. Let Billy guess the first question. Billy, you got the script up?
Yep, absolutely. So, Mr. 00, what inspired you to make your channel all about the Halo series?
Well, I've been a fan of Halo since like the absolute beginning, like 2001 Halo CE. And it just defined my childhood. There were games that I played and just got completely and utterly immersed. And I got the books, I got the comic books, figurines. I literally went full hog. I got the limited edition Xbox 360 console. I was fully immersed in Halo. I went through college, did electronic and computer engineering. And then I went into university and did computer science and material science. And from that, I kind of started putting two and two together. So my interest in Halo sort of intersected with my sort of professional qualifications. And I started sort of making sort of passive notes about, maybe Mjolnir armor could be made of this kind of metal or that kind of metal, or maybe the systems that run it do this or do that. And eventually it got to a point where I had basically what was the beginnings of a script sat in front of me. And I thought, well, sod it, I might as well record this and turn it into a video, just if nothing else, just to collate everything and have it as an easy, digestible format. And then I thought, well, I might as well upload it. So I uploaded the first most detailed episode, which is the Mark 6, and suddenly started getting views and then comments and then subscribers. And then suddenly, before I knew it, I was getting demands for doing other most detailed breakdowns, and it just kind of snowballed from there. And here we are.
Yeah, you definitely take it all the way down to like as low of details as you can get. It seems like you spent a lot of time delving into the smaller details, as Covenant Cannon was telling us last night when we talked to him. I think it's really cool when somebody has that amount of interest in something to break it down as far as you have.
Well, absolutely. I mean, it's like I said, it's just the professional qualifications and the two intersecting. I suppose it was a match made in heaven for those of us who are absolutely and utterly obsessed with extraneous detail.
You're just to tell you, man. You're like I've watched a couple of. I've watched you before too, but I've watched a lot in the last like day or so. But your passion is like amazing for this, by the way. Like I just want to say that like it was really cool to watch your stuff.
Yeah, well, like I say, it defined my childhood, and so some of my happiest memories were doing LAN parties with mates, and with junk food and soda and beer and whatever else, and just having a laugh, sat around the really old CRT televisions, the really heavy. We'd even lug them to each other's houses. That's how much we were dedicated to the course. So yeah, it just defined my childhood. It's a passion, and I'm pleased to be in a position where I'm sort of reaching out to a lot of people.
Yeah, I have to say, I didn't realize your channel was only like July 7th, 2018. Is that true?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's when the first video went up. And it's sort of with most YouTube channels, it started really slowly to start with. I must have uploaded a good couple of dozen videos by the time that Eckhart's Ladder found me. He'd been apparently watching some of my stuff, and we did a collaboration. And he wanted to do like a kind of an analysis of one of the UNSC ships, and I thought, okay, well, I've got to do something big to really make an impression on Eckhart, but also the Halo community at large. So I thought, okay, sod it. He's going to give me like an 8-minute video on a UNSC ship. I'm going to give him a 38-minute video on the most detailed breakdown of the Pillar of Autumn. And I was fully prepared for him to like just go like, oh, come on, man, I can't upload this to my channel. This is ridiculous. But he did it, and I went from 767 subscribers to 16,000 overnight, which was just incredible. So absolute props to Eckhart Sada for giving me the break as early on as he did.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the goal I've had in the background of this podcast is if we ever got enough subscribers to make a dent at YouTube, we would definitely be shouting out the small YouTubers that we enjoy watching and bringing them on the show for stuff like this. Obviously, your channel dwarfs ours, so there's not going to be a whole lot gained from this for you, obviously, because your channel is so much bigger than ours. But it's still really neat to talk to people like you, and that's why I like doing this.
So again, it's part of the ethos, isn't it, of the Halo community? I mean, Eckhart was nice enough to give me that leg up into the Halo YouTubers community, and since that's happened, I've collaborated with other Halo YouTubers. I've collaborated with smaller channels to try to sort of pick them up. I've even found, you know, sort of with some of my more recent videos. So like I'm doing some analysis of Dr. Catherine Halsey's diary. So I found a voice actor. A voice actor who she's called Kat Peterson. She's on Twitter, and her Dr. Halsey impression is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, it's literally like bang on. And being able to bring that to light and to see the response of the community to somebody who's got a voice that is so similar to Dr. Halsey is great. And yeah, it's just nice sort of giving back in the same way that someone gave me the leg up in the first place, you know?
That's awesome. So the second question, since I've asked multiple questions that were not on the list now, the second question is actually, what content do you enjoy making the most?
So no doubt about it, the most detailed obviously does sort of play to my desire for extraneous detail. And that was definitely like a big part of the passion of it. And it still is a big part of the passion of it. But it's like we were just saying, I think more recently it's started to shift a little bit, and I'm the Halo community that was so powerful and so intertwined years ago, you know, sort of Halo 2, Halo 3 era, I'm kind of feeling like there's kind of a resurgence of that kind of community spirit coming back again. I'm hoping, because Infinite's on the horizon, it's kind of a return to form for the franchise. So more recently, the content I've been enjoying more is things that are collaborative. So I've got a new series called Project John 117, which is basically exploring Master Chief's entire military career from start all the way up to where he currently is in the timeline. But telling it by using collaborations and contributions from people all over the Halo community. So artists that, you know, draw pictures, 3D renders, voice actors, people who can make some really awesome Halo-esque music. You know, the Halopedia for the fact that they've got, I mean, Master Chief's page on Halopedia is absolutely ridiculously large.
Yes, it is.
And the amount of detail there, it leaves very little for me to have to do. I can just almost, you know, read it through, and it's just, it tells its own story. So it's an opportunity to tell Master Chief's story, but also the story of kind of the whole community and why we're all so involved with this franchise. So that's probably where my heart is at the moment with collaboration with the community.
That's awesome. Well, with that being said, I think the next question rolls right up. What do you got, Billy?
So, speaking of Halo Infinite, what are you looking forward most to with it?
The return of mystery, I think, is probably the thing I'm most excited about. Halo CE had so much mystery. You know, the Forerunners were kind of enigmatic, and the Flood wasn't even like announced on the box of the game or in the little manual that came in the game. It was just a complete like curveball. It's like, whoa, what are these? Where do these come from? It had so much mystery. You know, Mendicant Bias, this deep ethereal voice on High Charity from within the key ship, and his travel to the Ark in Halo 3, and him talking to you through the terminals, and kind of the story of the librarian and the didact through the terminals. There was mystery infused into Halo, and I think it's a shame it was kind of lost a little bit sort of along the way. But the most significant new mystery that's emerged is ancient humanity. and now knowing that Halo Infinite is going to be taking place on Zeta Halo, and the suggestion of the rich history that ancient humanity has with Zeta Halo, that mystery returning to Halo is I'm absolutely and utterly pumped for. I mean, that's me all over. I'm going to be diving into every single possible little nook and cranny I can get. It's going to be ridiculous.
I really, really hope that everything we're hoping for with Infinite comes to fruition, because that would completely restore the faith in the Halo franchise that we've kind of lost with 4 and 5.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm not saying everybody's fallen off the bandwagon, because obviously it haven't. A lot of people still played those games, but there's a lot of...
But it does feel different.
Yes.
It definitely feels different for like just popping into matchmaking now in Halo 5 and even Master Chief Collection. It just doesn't feel quite the same as it did back in Halo 2 and Halo 3. There's something shifted. And I'm hoping that's being re-infused back into the community, and I'm hoping that those gamers, those Spartans that we see on our friends list that have been MIA for the years since Halo 3 are going to come back, and it's going to be awesome.
So number 4 definitely jumps right into what we just talked about. Is there anything in particular that makes you nervous about Halo Infinite?
Yeah, I think you started to sort of get onto it. So with Halo 4 lost quite a lot of the fans. I personally liked it. I liked the fact that the story had kind of almost matured and evolved. It was Chief exploring his humanity, and dealing with mortality, and it was more of a mature kind of complex narrative. But it also lost a few things along the way that resulted in sort of Halo 4 not being as successful as like Halo 3 was. Halo 3, I'm sure you guys recall, completely broke records in sales and everything. Then Halo 5, again, it was advertised as being this kind of hunt Chief's gone AWOL. And while we kind of got that, it kind of felt like a cop-out at the same time. So that's like 2 games in a row that have kind of flopped for Halo. Not completely flopped, but haven't struck the same resonance as the previous games. And what I'm really worried about is if Infinite strikes that third time, being kind of a flop. I really worry that that's going to be kind of almost the final nail in the coffin. It probably won't be, but it's just me procrastinating, I'd imagine, and coming to the conclusion that if it hits a third time round, we're gonna lose Halo, and that terrifies me. Absolutely terrifies me.
At least Halo the way we know it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Then we'll get Halo Wars 3 next.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with the Halo Wars games. I do like those.
I mean, Halo Wars 2 proved that the old and the new art styles could coexist and look awesome. So yeah, I'm pumped to the possibility that Infinite's gonna run with that same kind of art style. That'd be brilliant. I'll be all over that. Yeah.
Considering that we got Halo 1 anniversary on the 360, Halo 2 anniversary on the Xbox One, what do you think the chances are of a complete remake of Halo 3 on the Xbox Series X?
Oh, I know that officially, or kind of officially, they've said that there's not any intention to do so, but I don't know. They've got to do something, surely. I mean, with the power that the Series X is going to kick out, and the demand for kind of breathing new life into the franchise, as Infinite seems to be doing that with Halo 3 and doing an anniversary, which is because it's not just that they just make it shiny and make it pretty.
Right.
They add loads of more new content into the game as well. The terminals appeared in Halo CE anniversary and Halo 2 anniversary, so they're going to add loads of additional content to extrapolate more lore out of it. And of course, being a Halo YouTuber, I'm a lore junkie, so the more of that they can give us, the better.
I think it'd be cool to add like an extra Arbiter level in the beginning.
Yeah.
Or something along those lines.
Yeah. I mean, again, I remember when Halo 2 released, people were kind of iffy about suddenly having these levels where you don't play as Chief, you play as this elite. But I loved them. I loved sort of seeing things from the Covenant's perspective. And I mean, I even recall there being rumors years ago about perhaps making a Covenant-based game, but I suppose that could be cutting room floor stuff. I don't know.
That could have been a really cool thing. We talked about that with Covenant Canon a little bit.
Mm.
I would have been after Halo 2. If they would have just at that point split into a side series with a couple Covenant games, they could have probably milked the franchise. But I think Bungie not being there, I think that might have been the end of that conversation.
Yeah,
because Bungie wanted out at some point around Halo 3, ODST, Halo Reach timeframe, right? So if they were working on something, who knows what happened to it?
that's it. Yeah, it's again, it's just cutting room floor. The hope is that there's still sort of ideas there that perhaps can be revived and looked at a little bit more of a later date when hopefully the franchise is strengthened again to its sort of former glory.
Right.
But yeah, I'd be all over that as well.
I think the next question definitely runs right into what we're talking about, Billy. Why don't you bring it up?
Okay, so what is your favorite Halo Reach? What is your favorite and least favorite mainline Halo games? Halo Reach, out of all the Halo games.
See, that's a question which I've wrestled with personally on so many occasions because they've all got their own brilliant points. The CE was the mystery and everything. Halo 2, you were on an absolute power trip. Halo 3, you finished the fight. It's just ODST's an awesome stealth mission. I really struggle with that question regularly. But I think the one I go back to the most is Halo 2. I think because the story was rich. It was we still had the mystery. You still got chances, those quiet moments to explore and to just like admire the ambience of around you, and you still got those awesome action moments. It's Halo 2 is one of those ones that I could just keep going back to, and it seems that every time I go back to it, I find something new, something I hadn't known before, or I hadn't looked at close enough before, or something that just piques my curiosity. And I think, oh, I wonder if that does this, or I wonder if that was intended to do that. It's just, yeah. Halo 2, I think, is if pushed, Halo 2 would be my answer.
Everybody loves Halo 2. I have to say the thing that I just can't get over is watching the Chief flying towards the planet at the end of the game, and he goes finishing this fight, and then just done. I'm like,
yeah,
hold up, you're finishing this fight, but you're not here. Where the heck did you go? What happened here? And then I had to wait for Halo 3, and I was like, I'm so disappointed right now.
And obviously, again, there's supposed to be like a cut level, wasn't there? Like at the very end there. So after he said finishing the fight, he was supposed to like fight through the Foreigner key ship.
Something like that, yeah.
And I think that was covered in some of the early Halo comics. And I was kind of hoping that when they did the Master Chief Collection, they obviously gave Halo 2 the anniversary treatment, that they were maybe going to kind of do a bit of a fan service and put that level back in.
That would have been awesome.
But, yeah.
Unfortunately, no.
Hold on a second. This video we're watching, is that your own hand scribbles?
No, that's actually Dr. Halsey's
Dr.
Halsey's diary. If that was my hand scribbles, that would be I'd be Dr. Halsey.
Because it's just the page, right? I can't tell where it's from. I don't know if I've seen that one before.
Yeah, that page is about the lithium niobosine that she uses.
I was gonna say that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Anyways, now that we got that out of the way, the reason I can't pick Halo 2 for myself, I'm just gonna go over it really quickly, is because Halo 2 has that finishing this fight thing, and I always felt like I was cut short because of that. And I do not enjoy the last brute fight. I know a lot of people do. I did not enjoy that. I did not like that. I didn't like how I had to rely on Sergeant Johnson. On Legendary, it took me a while to figure out that you still rely on Sergeant Johnson to make that work. I thought I could just just beat the crap out of the brute and I'd win. Nope.
I tried all sorts of different tricks. I tried getting like the Banshee into the core room by using one of the cutscene loading glitches to get it through.
Yep.
And then just try to fight him from above with the Banshee. But yeah, that's a bit of a slog, to be fair. Yeah.
Oh really? With the Banshee?
Yeah, just because you got to get it in through the initial door, and then you got to immediately like nose up and like go up and hit the ceiling. But then you got to kind of, because then all the environment is in your way, you can't see anything, so you got to kind of guess like a roughly diagonal line to get over like the broken walls to drop that back down. It's awful.
Yeah, I managed to glitch a Banshee through the highway level. I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head. You know where you go through and you're supposed to be on. Essentially, you're going through the city. Yeah, I got a Banshee all the way to the end where you're fighting the Scarab.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I was like very dedicated to it that time to get through there.
That's the thing. Spending hours upon hours upon hours doing something that looks completely and utterly nonsensical, like just beating a Banshee past a loading point. And most people would look at that and be like, "What the hell are you doing?" But for us, it was like, "Yes, let's do this."
And then I do remember getting the Scarab gun one time. That was amazing.
See, of all the things I've done, I've not done that yet. I need to go back and do it.
It's pretty neat. Definitely worth it.
Yeah.
So here's a question that I'm very curious about. What's your favorite Halo game as far as the music is concerned?
See, practically anything that Martin O'Donnell writes is just like, it's just like orgasmic for the ears for me. So again, it's, you know, they all have, each soundtrack has their own character and their own unique points. I've just got this constant and endless affinity for the Gregorian monk chant. So yeah, I think I'd probably go like, yeah, old school. I'd probably be like the original Halo CE soundtrack, not the anniversary one, the original CE soundtrack, because it's just that mysterious Gregorian monk chant on the main menu screen is just like, it immediately invokes mystery and ancient, and it's just chills down the spine. Even the loading screen, you know, you just got that blue line move across the screen, but you had that monk chant that was just like one note, but it was like harmonized. It's just, I'm back in my childhood. It's as simple as that.
I go back and forth between 1 and 3 because that piano that they use, the dun dun dun, yeah, it just feels so epic. I get chills every time. I can play piano myself. If I play that, I get chills from just playing it. My own piano.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just
remembering that first E strike, that, you know, the E chord that he plays when the first Halo 3 teaser dropped.
Oh my gosh.
And it's literally just like that one note, and then like the African savannah really slowly fades in. It's like, oh, I'm a kid.
yeah, you get the piano note, and then it directly goes into that almost that monk sound again.
Mm.
You know, it's,
yeah.
Oh, you know, it's just you know what I'm talking about. I don't gotta sing.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Again, the thing is, you scour the internet enough, and you'll find, you know, people on TikTok, and Twitter finding the most echoey places possible to try to do the Halo theme tune. You know, even people you wouldn't expect who would know it are doing it. It's like, yeah, that shows that Halo has become like a cult phenomena.
Oh yeah, it definitely has. Speaking of Martin O'Donnell, did you see that? I think you actually were the one that tweeted it, that I saw it, that he got copyright struck by somebody. I can't believe that.
Yeah, his own music, right? So yeah, so the company, the company that apparently this keep claiming this, or the YouTube algorithm keeps thinking is this company. I was hit by 21 of my videos were hit by a copyright strike from this company in one night, and I went through and disputed every single one, and then literally a couple of days later on Twitter, Martin O'Donnell tweets that his own song has just been copyright disputed by the same organization that copyright disputed 21 of my videos. It's like, he's the content creator. He created the music. You know, what rights do you have to this content? I wrote it.
I mean, can you imagine sitting there and like notice, wait, what?
Yeah,
like, somebody owns the copyright to my music? How is this even possible?
the only thing that he put on his tweet was literally just WTF YouTube.
That's what he put. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. That's all that needed to be said. I actually shared that with another prominent YouTuber. No matter how you feel about the guy, the quartering, he actually covered it on his channel, the Martin O'Donnell tweet. After you sent it to me, I sent it to him. Or you sent it on my timeline anyway, because you retweeted it. I sent it right to him. He covered it like hours later. I was like, yes, we got this, some legs, some momentum.
That's it. That's going to be my modus operandi for disputing any claims from that company in the future. Now I'm just going to like superimpose an image from his tweet, a screen dub of his tweet. Just go, well, it's not even your content; it's this guy's. But you also claimed against him.
There you go. Yeah, Martin O'Donnell is like one of the most iconic music composers in video games ever.
I know. Yeah, I don't know what it just seems to. I suppose it's exactly his entire career is as a composer, a musician, is just culminated in just the right way to make music that's just perfect for that kind of even not just the music, just the ambience. I've got like 10-minute tracks saved of just like the sounds of levels.
Mm-hmm.
Like the really deep hum that comes when you stand on the Halo 3 map Epitaph for long enough.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I just listen to it when I'm walking. I just go out for a walk, put the headphones in, and just listen to like Halo ambience. He just gets it, and yeah, I was kind of hoping. Obviously, I know he went through like a bit of a rough time with Bungie and sort of severed his connections there, or was he fired? Was he fired?
He was okay. So I read through this dispute. I'll give you a quick synopsis. Essentially, the work with Activision, they did not want to release the music he composed for Destiny. And he got very angry because he wanted to do that, and he also wanted full control, creative control over the music. Activision didn't want to give that to him.
His creation, isn't it?
Yeah, Activision didn't want to give it to him. They used other music in the trailers. He got very angry. I guess he created kind of an aggressive work environment because he was not happy about what was going on, which I can completely understand. You're getting trampled over. When you're considered kind of a prodigy in the industry of music as far as video games are concerned, how could you possibly be overlooked by a company? Well, it's Activision. They're just they have no clue.
Yeah, that's it.
So it's probably one of the greatest things I read that Bungie left Activision. But what would have been even better is if somehow Microsoft said, "Hey, we got all this pocket change for you. Come to 343 and help us fix."
That's literally what I was about to say. I was kind of hoping that with him leaving, Bungie and Activision, I was really, really hoping he was going to jump aboard with 343 Industries, because I know Joe Staten left as well, didn't he?
I think you're right.
Yeah, and again, there's so many times I was just sat thinking, come on, Joe, please, you love Halo. Just go to 343 Industries, please.
Well, the worst part of it, right? They were supposed to pay him out for his contract, and when they cut his ties, they took away all his Bungie stock. They took away all of his there's like 3 tiers of Bungie stock that he had, and they basically said, you don't get your founder's stock anymore. You don't get this. You don't get any payment for the work you did on Destiny. See you later. And he was like, what? He lawyered up immediately. Took it to court, and they actually proved he was one of the founders of Bungie, so that restored most of his money from the founder's stock. And then they proved a bunch of other stuff, and he got all the money he basically should have gotten.
Good.
But I couldn't believe that. I couldn't believe they tried to cut him out of everything. I can't believe that.
That's a dick move.
Yeah, pretty much. So, Martin O'Donnell, I would love to have you on the channel. If you ever watch any of our videos, he seems
pretty prolific on Twitter. Reach out to him.
I have been trying to. He's not been very receptive yet. But if he ever watches any of our videos, he'll know I love his stuff.
See, I've been trying to reach out to Nathan Fillion to get him to quote a line from Edward Buck. I've been hounding him now for probably about 4 weeks.
There you go.
I get I think he's just wrapped. I think he's just wrapped shooting The Rookie. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
Yeah.
You are. Yeah, brilliant. I'm addicted to it. Absolutely addicted to it.
Really good show. I get
yeah. I just find it kind of ironic that he's gone from being like, Buck the ODST to Spartan Buck, and now he's The Rookie. So yeah, I've been really kind of reaching out to him and hoping that he perhaps lend his voice just to narrate a particular quote that Buck says about the Spartan augmentations, so I can put it into a most detailed breakdown of the Spartan 4 augmentations. And I even tried to I suggested that perhaps we could donate the ad revenue to charity, to a charity of his choice or to a charity of my subscribers' choice. But I've yet to receive a response. So I don't want to hound him too much.
Twitter's a hard one to get through on. Is that where you're using his Twitter?
No. I know that most of his Twitter posts actually come through from his Instagram. He's got them linked. So
Okay.
I actually approached him directly on his Instagram. But yeah, as of yet, an unsuccessful endeavor. But I will persist.
Hey, I have learned to get people to respond on Twitter, especially Twitter. Sometimes you have to tag other people that they're following because they won't see you post it. But if somebody that they're also following likes the tweet, then they'll see it. So like I posted a tweet to Hidden Xperia, and he doesn't follow us, so he never sees anything we put on Twitter ever. So he's very hard for me to reach out to. But I tagged Halo Cannon, and as soon as Halo Cannon liked it, he responded. I was like, oh, there we go, problem solved. So yeah, Twitter filters everything. Yeah, Twitter filters everything. It's nuts because to get through to somebody, even if they want to talk to you, Twitter will filter it because they're not following you. And that's fine. You know, our channel is not very big. I wouldn't expect Hidden Xperia to follow us necessarily without knowing us. But I appreciate everybody that's larger than us that does, which is really cool. I thought it was awesome that the few people, including yourself, have actually responded to us and talked to us about stuff. It's been really neat.
Yeah, it's very enjoyable. Thank you for having us.
Yeah. Billy, do you want to get on that next question? Which is, again, we're kind of right on topic.
What Halo-centric YouTube channels are your favorite?
We've literally just been discussing most of them. So I'm impressed. Yeah, big shout to Eckhart Slatter. Obviously, he's the guy. I mean, he does other content as well, but you know, he does some awesome Halo content, and he's obviously the reason that I became quite as big as I did, as fast as I did. So yeah, big shout to Eki. He probably hates that I call him that, but there you go. Then again, Halo Cannon. I've done the collaboration with Halo Cannon, Toa Freak, as you know, he's awesome. I love it. I've been a Cannonite since before I was even Mr. 00. So you know, I love his content. Hidden Xperia, obviously a fellow Brit, and you know, I absolutely love his dives into the Flood. He did like quite an extensive series a good while back about the Flood, and I was hooked, absolutely hooked. Then you got like some of the other sort of more obscure ones. So you got like the Spearhead. So his sort of animated looks at Halo. That's just he's got kind of a unique style.
Oh yeah,
and his kind of avatar.
Spearhead.
Yeah.
He keeps coming up with my suggestions.
You definitely follow him. He does some really good content. General Kid or General Heed, as I think he's known on YouTube because someone stole the YouTube tag General Kid, I think. I like him because he does a lot of the stuff like where he tries to get out of levels. I literally just watched his video today about trying to do the Warthog run at the end of Halo C, but using a Scorpion tank instead. And seeing if you can actually do it. It's like just silly things that we all did when we were playing Halo. You know, try to get out of levels, see if you can do this, see if you can do that. He just gives them a really awesome showcase. Then you've got like Covenant Canon. You know, he covers a lot of Covenant lore that I don't tend to cover as much, and I do notice that quite a few YouTubers don't tend to cover Covenant Canon.
Hey, he got to 7K after last night.
Hey, good, brilliant. So yeah, just know there's like a dedicated guy out there who does Covenant lore is really refreshing and really nice. And I'm sure I'm forgetting other people, but sort of they're the ones that sort of jump to mind most immediately.
CHRILLCAST. Just kidding.
Yeah. Oh yeah, CHRILLCAST. That is it. Most definitely, if you're not subscribed or following any of those guys, you need to, because they're pretty awesome, including CHRILLCAST.
I see the gun to your head, man. It's all right. You could just
I say this with absolute and utter free will.
Yeah, that's cool though. I the couple that you mentioned that I hadn't heard before was Spearhead and General Kid. I definitely haven't heard of those two before, but I definitely want to go check them out.
Well, I'll tell you what, one that's literally just jumped to mind. I think he's relatively new to the scene, but he's grown ridiculously fast. Is Same Token. So these are jumping to mind because yes, exactly. These are jumping to mind because literally like about an hour before sort of
Holy
getting
cow,
the kids
1.5 million views.
Yeah, he seems to have emerged out of like nowhere. I think he's still a relatively new channel, but the videos that he's uploaded have just sort of caught people, and it's kind of blown up. And it's I've since sort of popping onto my radar, I've been hooked. Yeah, I mean he does similar kind of stuff to me. He does like really detailed analysis of stuff. I'm not quite to the nitty gritty like material science and stuff like that I do, but like I loved his video on hard light and how hard light works and slip space. He did a really good video on that as well. And like I said, these are only jumping to mind because I literally about an hour before putting the kids to bed, I put a tweet out because I got an idea for doing a collaborative video and I wanted the opinions of literally like all the major Halo YouTubers, and thankfully most of them have got back to me and said yeah, they're on board. So everybody keep an eye out for a rather large collaboration between all the major Halo YouTubers coming up relatively soon.
Awesome.
Yeah, you're right. He's not been around that long because he's got a bunch of videos from years ago, and then all of a sudden 6 months ago he started posting pretty often.
Yeah, it just sort of exploded overnight, and like I suppose the YouTube algorithm must have just decided, yeah, we'll push this channel. You know, now he's been active for a couple of years, we'll push him now. You know, because YouTube is infinitely wise in that regard.
Yeah, look, he put a video called Halo Recapped. It must have been just the right time because that's his 1.5 million view video, and then now he's got like boom, 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 and then what 300, 350, 400, 100. Every video he's put out has been at least 50,000 views since then.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I say, it's just one of those channels that's if you don't know about him, he sort of you'll fly under the radar. But I just thought, you know, he's new. It seems new to the scene, and his content's really great. You know, give him a harmless plug. Why not?
Cool, man. All right. The next question. What are your favorite non-Halo YouTube channels?
Vsauce, straight off the bat. I think because I resonate with Michael Stevens. He's a polymath, and I'm an autodidactic polymath. So if you don't know what I mean, so autodidact means literally like that was a really interesting intro for Vsauce. Then
I was like, whoa.
Him deep throating a microphone. It's not that kind of content. Let's play.
I was like, wait a second, what the heck?
Look at some of his stuff. But yeah, he does like really like interesting like science and mathematics and interesting sort of information that he's dug out. He asks a question at the start of the video, and then his recipe is that then he answers the question at the very end, but in between you learn like a bunch of different stuff about a bunch of different things simultaneously. And like I said, I kind of resonate with him because he's a polymath, and so am I. Basically, a polymath is just someone who knows a lot about a lot. And I'm also an autodidact, so I can teach myself subjects to kind of sort of fully literate levels with absolutely no assistance. So I kind of resonate with him on that level. I'm quite passionate about cooking. Obviously, I've got a little family. I've got to look after them. I've got to cook for them. So Binging with Babish is another channel that I'm really into because he does some really interesting stuff. I actually first found him because he made a video that went viral where he made the SpongeBob SquarePants Krabby Patty in like real and then made it better. So and plus his voice he's got like a nice velvety baritone. Hey guys, welcome back to Binging with Babish, that kind of thing,
That was spot on, by the way. I've watched him a lot. He is fantastic.
Yeah, I'm addicted to it. I mean, his smashed burgers, like that's like a weekly thing in my house now, just because they're so easy to do. But yeah, I'm really into cooking, so yeah, Babby does it for me.
I like cooking myself, but my wife does more of it than I do.
Yeah, see, in our household it's the other way around. Like my partner's not as into cooking, but I'm all over it. I absolutely love it.
There you go. That works then.
But yeah, they're sort of two ones that sort of jump to mind like straight away. I mean again, I look at other I keep an eye on other stuff like Star Talk with Neil deGrasse Tyson. Because again, I'm interested with the cosmos, and I mean, who isn't, right? I actually got like prescription glasses like about a year and a half ago, and I hadn't noticed how bad my vision had got. And when I got a confirmation that they'd arrived in, and it was actually at night time, so I went down to pick them up. I went outside with them on for the first time, looked up, and like it was like seeing the night sky for the first time all over again. And I literally just stood outside the shop for like 20 minutes staring at the sky. People must have think I was like high or something. It's
just that's great.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's sort of some of the ones that jump to mind.
Definitely doesn't have to be all encompassing. Just a couple.
Yeah.
Peer into what other YouTubers watch. I think it's really interesting to hear what other people watch on YouTube when they're already a creator on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sort of that information you don't often get to see.
Right.
It's nice. It's nice to sort of bring it down a level, and because I know it's quite easy for people to like. I mean, I've had sort of the distinct pleasure of meeting a couple of people that have seen my content like in person. And it's really odd for me because I don't view myself as anybody, you know, particularly special. I'm just a guy who makes YouTube videos. I mean, that's it. That's me. And yeah, I've had people approach me like, "Oh, you're in Installation00," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, hang on a minute. I'm just a human." Chill out. So yeah, it's nice to humanize people and bring it down and realize that yeah, we watch weird stuff, we watch interesting stuff, and yeah. It's nice.
Funny story. I've had something similar happen to me recently for who knows what reason. I'm like, wait a second. Somebody from my own area is one of my 120 subscribers. Like, what?
Really?
I haven't shared it with like anybody. I was like, how is this even possible? But yeah, it was bizarre because they're like, wait a second, I know you. I was like, yeah, you voted me most likely to be famous on high school in the yearbook. Don't you remember?
Well, there you go.
Now I'm on YouTube. No. So famous. No.
Providence.
All right, Billy, take it away with the next question.
Besides Halo, what other video game series do you like?
When Mass Effect was sort of first came out, I was all about Mass Effect. I genuinely would. This was when I was at college. I had like a little evening cleaning job just to sort of pay the bills, a bit of pocket money, and I'd go to work, clean what I need to clean, come back home, and I'd literally just sit up until like 2 or 3 in the morning playing Mass Effect because it was so deep and so there's so many different storylines, so many levels of narrative that you could go to, and all these little side missions and places you could explore. I spent hours upon hours upon hours every night while I was at college playing Mass Effect, and yeah, I was absolutely utterly addicted. I was really sort of quite upset that Andromeda wasn't what we were hoping for, and it kind of flopped a little bit. And I'm kind of hoping maybe they want to look at Mass Effect again, and perhaps because there's been murmurs. I've noticed there's been murmurs online.
Dude, I'm pretty sure all but confirmed Mass Effect 4.
Yeah, they're Casey Hudson posted on N7 Day, November 7th, because I am a huge the Mass Effect is my baby. But they confirmed that they're at least doing something with the IP. Like they didn't say exactly what they're doing with it, but it's not like it doesn't seem like it's gonna be a spin-off. It seems like it's gonna be an actual iteration of the next like forward in the series and not back to the First Contact War, which I would love to see, but I'd rather see anything in the future. Sorry, I'm big into Mass Effect. I love it.
Awesome. Yeah, well, that's news to me, so I'm totally looking for. I'm pumped for that now. Obviously, we're not going to see anything at E3 this year, though, are we?
Hey, I forgot to tell you, people. Billy works for GameStop, so he works for Reggie.
Oh,
all right.
Oh boy, my boy. Listen, it's a fun place sometimes. We're interesting, I guess. I should
have told you that to begin with, because sometimes I will be talking to people and be like, "Dude, GameStop kind of sucks," and I'm like, "Oh, Billy's on the podcast."
I don't ever fight that though. Like I will hear anybody out because like I have heard some horror stories. Like I don't speak for all of them. I speak for my own because I cannot fight.
But Billy is like a super solid GameStop employee. If you ever somehow manage to go to Billy's GameStop in the history of your lifetime, you will understand what I'm saying when I say Billy's like the best.
Awesome. I just like it. It's working with games, man. It's the best.
That's it.
Passion.
Yeah. So and then so aside from Mass Effect, I'm really into Deus Ex, the human augmentation technology. Sort of the human revolution, and Mankind Divided. Mankind Divided didn't quite hit the same the same level. But yeah, I'm really into Deus Ex. Crisis, obviously, who doesn't like Crisis? And probably quite an unpopular one, Anthem.
Really?
No, I agree with you. Anthem is. I liked it a lot too. I thought it was pretty good.
I know, I completely and utterly get, and I appreciate, and I acknowledge that there are problems with the game. Absolutely, I agree. But something about the javelins, something about the gameplay, something about the world, and the sort of the open world kind of aspect of it, just yeah, it was the first game in a long time that I was really excited about. So yeah, I'm yeah, hoping Anthem is perhaps got some good news on the horizon as well.
Yeah, that 2.0 update they're supposed to be putting out.
Anthem or Destiny?
Ooh, see, 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 you got me in a corner now.
You don't have to bow down to Bungie anymore. They don't own Halo anymore.
I think Anthem.
Yeah,
I think Anthem. Yeah, I like Destiny, but there's a lot of space magic, I suppose, is the only way I can call it. And making content, thinking about stuff, imagining technology and things like that based on space magic is much more difficult than imagining technology based on these awesome exosuits that are kind of cobbled together out of bits and pieces that are available to them. And I think it's I like things that are kind of not necessarily realistic, but like are grounded in reality, so to speak.
Understand. I have to say, Mass Effect Andromeda, because I know you were talking about Mass Effect earlier. I felt completely betrayed by that game. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
After such a great storyline from Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. And then
the Reapers were terrifying.
Yeah, I know, right? Indoctrination Theory was amazing. I couldn't believe that they didn't just roll with that. EA completely missed that. And then originally, right, Knights of the Republic. I mean that's what brought me to Mass Effect was Knights of the Republic.
Yeah.
So anyways. The last question we have for this interview is, if you were to expand your channel, what other series would you cover?
I kind of already have.
Oh, did I miss that?
Yeah, it's very, very new. So it's not actually the Installation 00. It's actually called Lawcore or Lawcore Multiverse.
I think you told me about this.
That's the one.
Or maybe Halo
Lawcore,
Canon did. One of you guys
did. We're talking. This is just like fledgling. Like we're just starting out. I say we. Why do I use we? It's me. So yeah, for this, I kind of wanted to make a YouTube channel that has these different sort of cores, so to speak, that each universe is contained within, and I can dive into different universes and I can kind of explore more freely. It's not that I can't explore freely with Installation 00, but of course it's grounded in Halo, and I also like the nanosuit. I also like Mass Effect. I also like technology and transhumanism and Deus Ex and loads of other different franchises and technology. So it gives me the opportunity to explore other aspects of sci-fi technology and just be more free almost in the creative process. So the idea is that at the start of each video, you start off as just like kind of in the multiverse, and then we kind of zoom in, so to speak, into a respective core where we then explore a particular detail or a particular event or something within that universe. So that's literally brand new, but it's starting to build a little bit of momentum, and a lot of people have crossed over from Installation 00 to Lawcore because, of course, we're all gamers and we all like things that are similar, and we all have like kind of overlap. And people who like Halo also like Mass Effect and this, that, and the other. So yeah, it's got a lot of growth potential, but it's still very, very much early days.
Yeah, this is the first time I've talked to a Halo YouTuber that didn't immediately go to Gears of War.
See, I do like Gears of War, but there's other franchises that have kind of got my attention ahead of it at the moment. I mean, which is not to discredit in any way. Gears is an awesome series, but yeah, there's other things I want to look at that are more immediate, perhaps is the right word.
I have to say, I was actually a breath of fresh air to hear Mass Effect, because nobody ever brings up Mass Effect, at least not anybody I've talked to except Billy.
Oh, I love it. It's so
and
See,
I
mean,
love
I
Mass
think
Effect.
I like Mass Effect because it's. I mean, the video that's actually up there, the Mass Effect ESO, that's basically the one allowance, so to speak, that you kind of give Mass Effect is the existence of this element that when you give it a positive charge, it increases mass. You give it a negative charge, it decreases mass, and everything else in the entire universe links into that idea, that concept. You know, it doesn't deviate from it. It's not like there's exceptions to the rule. You know, oh, this is this way just because it's fun, or you know, which is, again, not to discredit the rule of cool that Bungie tended to use in the early days, but you know, it everything links back to this ESO. So that's why I thought best place to start covering Mass Effect was to start with ESO, because then everything else links back to that.
Absolutely. I personally would love it if Mass Effect did the First Contact War. I think that would be one of the coolest games.
Yeah.
Probably of this decade if they did it.
Yeah, because I mean, that would be just after humanity found, you know, the Prothean ruins on Mars. So we'd already be kind of having technological advancements, and then suddenly we come across the Turians, and yeah,
it would be so epic, because most people playing it, if they're younger, have not played the Mass Effect trilogy. So what they could do is release First Contact War, and then follow that up with a remastered trilogy.
Oh, see, that's an idea.
That's what they need to do.
That would be awesome. BioWare need to be taking notes. I'm going to tag BioWare in this now.
Yes, absolutely. Anyways, so is there anything else that you had for Mr. Zero, Billy?
No, I mean, I will tell you straight up, you moved up on my list wholeheartedly once you said Mass Effect. Like you are fantastic.
Nice to know.
I'm very happy. That's
very good.
That's all you have, Billy?
Nothing crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Is there anything else that you had for us before we conclude this interview?
No. Just thanks for having me on board, and you know, I love the format of the way the podcast works. You know, I sort of first caught wind of it with the interview you did with Halo Canon, and since then, you know, I've been staying tuned, and just the way that it flows, the way that you can get, you know, your people to open up, your guests to open up, the content you cover. Yeah, I'm all over it. So thanks for having me.
Absolutely, and we're looking forward to having you on for some more segments.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Alrighty. Well, for concluding the podcast, what we always do is I say I'm Chris, or as always I'm Chris, and then Billy will say I'm Billy, and then you can say who you are, and then I will say and we will see you, and Billy say on the next CHRILLCAST, and then you have a chance really quickly to say something if you want, or you can just leave it be, and then I just hit the outro tab here and it rolls into the music. So
okay,
you ready to go?
Yeah.
As always, I'm Chris.
And I'm Billy, not Will.
And I'm Installation00.
And we will see you
on the next CHRILLCAST.
Take it easy, guys. Fine, peace.